I'm Elpida Akhtaridou and I'm head of research and knowledge exchange at Plymouth Marjon University. Sickness was viewed as something that was inevitable, despite at times families and students feeling that they were pressured to be in school despite being unwell. Mental health, of course, and other health conditions and children with special educational needs was one of the biggest barriers that we found. And again, there were some examples of very good practice and positive examples, but there were many that were discussing challenges in the system around long waiting times for diagnosis, whilst all of the problems were deepening in the meantime. So it's not that we found that parents do not take their responsibility as an important part of what they do. And what was the findings more about was they felt that at times they were not heard, or some of these attendance policies were not as supportive. So people spoke about attendance letters and fines, not being in the right tone, in their view, communications that didn't feel proportionate or appropriate, and those kind of aspects of the relationship were not necessarily enhancing it, but putting more strain in it. And there are many examples of good practice out there in schools, but there are more relational approaches that one could explore further. And I hope that that's part of the changes that maybe government and school and practice considers. The biggest barrier that students have identified in the research was the start time of schools. And it's too early, they say. That's a well-known mismatch between the adolescent development and the brain. Term holidays were a particular point of tension. There is a timing issue there as well. So there's a lot of equity-related challenges when parents and families cannot afford or cannot spare that time, cannot because of work commitments. A lot of parents would call for discretion going back to the school and to the head teachers, but also for them to decide because they know the children. So some children with special educational needs can't deal with overwhelming airports. Building trust further and building those relationships more close, especially with parents, so they can become co-agents for attendance, but also within the school. Some practices, for example, if we know, as we said, that peers are really important, but break times are really short. So how can we support the most important things that students care about within the school structures, so we make it a more inviting and welcoming place for them?